We're going to make sure everyone's up here.
So Ron said, yeah, he might be in the mobile site from his desktop.
Yeah. That's another thing. Mm-hmm. You know what? Ron, awesome. You know what it could be, Allison?
Ron, you're a designated tech guy now.
Yeah, Ron Higgs said that he could be running the mobile version of Google Chrome through his desktop. And because if he's got bandwidth problems, that might be the way he normally runs it. He's got to run the full desktop version.
Yeah, but the only problem with that is we're able to see him on the stage.
When we're
in presentation mode. So I don't know that that's it, but I suggest you might just want to start doing the introductions with people while we figure out how to get going.
There you go. So Allison, we'll get things going live here, and then I will get
and just have him try to sign on Firefox. That's what I would do. Just have him open Firefox because that's the second best browser for this platform.
Or Edge, Firefox or Edge. Try those two. We'll go live when he comes back in. We'll see it. We'll go. Great idea, Ira. You get him ready to go. You get him
Ron,
ready.
That's always the problem with me, Ron. He's saying the problem in the cockpit is usually between, the head.
Yeah, it's operator error. Definitely there. So, all right. I'm going to go live on LinkedIn. We will have Darren coming in behind us through a different browser so he can get up here. As soon as we see him in Remo, we will bring him onto the stage with us, and we'll go from there. So, going to go live on LinkedIn.
Are we live now?
No.
Oh, okay. Where's the music? Never mind. Just get it on.
Wait. Let's do something else. Wait.
All right. We are now live on LinkedIn. Thank you, everyone, once again for joining us for the Exit Your Way Roundtable. We were having a little technical difficulties here. So I think we actually missed our window on Facebook. So we're probably not going on Facebook. We're hitting LinkedIn and the other places. Thank you so much for joining us again today. I am really excited. Our technical difficulties is we're getting those resolved in the background, but I'm excited because today we have Allison DeFord from Felt Marketing as our guest host. She's got an awesome speaker, and we're going to get them on the stage with us, and she's going to do the introductions of them. They're going to talk about some cool stuff. Just want to say thanks for being here once again, and take it away, Allison.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm so excited. I see all the peeps I know in the chat. Ron, Andrew, Ray. We're excited that you're here. I appreciate you guys taking your time. I want to thank Damon for his lapse in judgment in handing over the mic to me today. And
we wouldn't be here today without that. So
what you guys are doing for the last year with this has been incredible. I have met more amazing people. So we hope that, my thought, Wonder Woman is here with me, and we got Darrin Mitchell to say yes to joining us today. And I think the cool thing about him is he's like what we all want to be when we grow up. He created a business. He had somebody come to him and say, I'd like to give you millions of dollars for your business. And so he sold the business. And he also sold an amusement park. And I bet nobody knew that he owned an amusement park. And now he's still creating new and exciting things for manufacturers. And he's also a very introverted, daring marketer. So we're going to talk a bit about that. And really touch on, because I know a lot of people I put in the chat, are you an introvert, an extrovert, or an introverted extrovert like me? Extroverted introvert. Let me switch that. Yeah, I'm the extroverted introvert.
So I heard that I'm a social introvert.
Interesting.
Yeah, whatever the hell that means.
Well, yeah, Darren is definitely an introvert, and I think most people don't realize that. And so that's going to be very enlightening for people to hear, what do you do? How do you put yourself out there when maybe you don't like your voice? You don't like to see yourself on camera. You're afraid of what people are going to think or say or not do. and how he overcame that. And I think this will be really good to help anybody on the call who's felt that way, right? Because I think we've all been afraid. And I never realized in watching his videos that he was an introvert. So it was kind of shocking to learn. And we're going to talk also a little bit about work-life balance, because I've never seen a man asked that question. And so I want to ask him that question about work-life balance. I think that'll help most people on this session today, because we all probably work too much. And I think it's important to talk about that. And we're also going to get some inside scoop on how you build trust with the people that want to pay you big money.
How do you meet those people? Let's just say.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. He's calling me. I think he's having trouble. I'm going to turn my mic off for 1 second. Damon,
All
can
right.
you?
Yeah. I've got it. Well, let's start people coming up. Let's do some introductions like we normally do, Andrew. So let's roll people up. We'll get people going through that, and then we'll get started.
We've actually got a lot of people too for all the technical difficulties we've had. So
Yeah.
thank you, everybody in advance.
Thanks for being patient with us.
Yeah.
It's all me. So as usual, Aaron, I'm screwing things up again today.
Weird.
Just happens, man. Just happens. So
We need a technical difficulty music little thing to play while we're doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
Play
that old screen, but we'll be right back. Remember? That's just showing how damn old I am. But
no, screen that pops up. Please hold while we deal with technical difficulties.
Yeah.
We got like the little jingle playing.
Yeah.
We could get Andrew Deutsch up, and I'm sure he has like a scrambled screen, like
when he comes up next,
and we will get him.
All right. So Aaron, do your introduction.
Do we have a question?
Oh,
by the way.
Come on, Andrew, give us something. We need some technical difficulty.
There he is.
I don't know why you're blaming me.
Right.
It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. We do the whiz in the background has the video going. So all right,
no
Aaron.
floating head this week, Andrew. That gave me nightmares.
Yeah.
Sorry?
The floating head thing last week. That gave me nightmares.
Then my work here is done. Nice to see you all. Have a good weekend.
So tell us, Aaron. Tell us about yourself, how you're helping people, and then we'll pop over to Allison and get your question, because she has a question of the day.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I run an investment management practice with Alliance Bernstein, predominantly focused on working with business owners, and that work covers the entire life cycle of the company. So we do a lot of work at startup through growth, and then do a lot of work around helping owners plan for an exit, and then that obviously then segues into the legacy planning after somebody goes through an exit. How do you connect the dots between someone's wealth and ultimately what they want to accomplish?
All right, awesome, Aaron. Well, Allison is still dealing with the technical difficulties. We'll let her keep going there, but we'll come back around to you for the question of the day. So, unless she wants to tell us, what's the question of the day, Allison?
She's not listening.
Oh, she's putting it in the chat. Awesome. All right, we'll hit you later then. Thanks, Aaron. Andrew.
Perfect. Yep.
What do you do besides being a video wizard? How do you help people?
Me, I just kind of hang out and pretend I do business.
All right.
Our business is really related to strategy first, marketing and sales consulting, and helping companies domestically and also grow their footprint globally. That's who we are.
Here's the question, I guess. Introverted or extroverted?
Neither verted.
Neither verted. There you go.
Situationally both.
Awesome.
Which do you prefer?
Introvert. I prefer the quiet.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my work, the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Interesting.
Good stuff. All right, Ron. So awesome, Andrew. Thank you. Ron Higgs, great to see you once again.
You too.
And this weather's nice outside. You know what I'm thinking?
What's that?
Edmonds is calling.
Beers and Beers and Sunshine. He's thinking about BS. There's a country song about that right now. The only BS I need is Beers and Sunshine. I love that song. That's Hootie. That's Hootie sings that, by the way. Hootie turned country.
Well, Ron Higgs here, and I have some good news to share with you guys. It's been a long time coming. I got a job offer this week.
I was going to ask you about it. Yeah, awesome.
So here I just put the company in the chat. Interesting company doing a lot of interesting stuff, creative work and marketing, mostly for commercials and movies. And they actually have a team working on a script for a Pixar movie. So pretty interesting stuff. Pixar being probably a big customer of theirs. So
that's freaking cool.
Got offered the COO job on Tuesday, and I haven't gotten back to them yet, but I probably will. Not as much in the salary as I was hoping, but I think I'm going to go for it. Now, when it rains, it pours. I've had 2 interviews with Twitter, and they're moving me forward. So I'm actually going to keep going with that just to see if they offer me a job.
Yeah.
That job is Director of Technical Program Management. So that should be interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's where Ron is right now. I have a million people to thank. Lots of people who are out there helping me out. So too many to mention, but I'll send out a LinkedIn blast as soon as it's official.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
Probably too busy to hang out with the likes of us pretty soon.
Well, you know what? So on the other side of that, I am heading to Arizona on Saturday, Scottsdale. I'm driving down and going to try to spend the entire month of March and April, or the rest of March and all of April down there. Wife is going to join me in a couple weeks, and then we're going to stay down there as long as we can. I'll probably have to fly back up to Seattle once to do some checking in and onboarding with the job, but that's mostly remote.
Oh,
hey, on your way, stop in at Park City to say hi. I'd love to see you.
Actually, I got to talk to Brad. I'm going through Vegas. I'm going through Boise and Vegas, and then on to Scottsdale. So.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And I'm an extrovert, through and through. So.
100%.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome.
Good.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Ron. Awesome. Thank you. I'm doing a little bit of background stuff. AJ, great to see you. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey, Damon, how are you?
I'm awesome, man. So tell us a little bit about how you're helping people, man.
This is AJ. I'm from India. So I work in a staffing industry. So where I help my clients to fulfill their requirements, like developers, admins, Salesforce, DevOps, and all this kind of stuff. So if you have a trouble in finding a people, then I'm the person to reach out.
Okay. Very cool.
So I'm an introvert person. You people know that.
Yeah.
Very
good. Yeah.
I put this up on LinkedIn, but look, if you are a company trying to hire any IT staff in the United States, AJ is the guy to help.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Definitely.
Ira is the best buddy.
All right. Awesome, AJ.
Awesome.
Hey, AJ, introvert or extrovert? Introvert, I think he was saying.
Yeah, he's going to say introvert. Sorry, we cut him off. Sorry, AJ. So, Will,
no worries.
How are you doing today? Thanks. You're a first-time attendee here, and sorry we had such a technical thing that we're working through here, but glad to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hey, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. I should probably start by saying that I'm actually a fake extrovert. People think they talk to me and I'm an extrovert, but what I heard, and you guys might know better than me, is that you're an introvert or extrovert depending on how you recharge your batteries. So if you have to go out and hang out with people to relax, then you're an extrovert. Whereas if you go read a book, then you're an introvert. Mm-hmm. So from that perspective, I'm actually an introvert, but I like to hang out. So that's a little bit about me.
Look at Allison's face real quick because Darren just entered the table.
Darren entered the table, so if he can, and we might be getting him on. But
Will, to answer your question there, I think you're correct because that's what I understand to be true as well. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So how do you help people, Will? What are you doing?
Okay, well, I'm a partner in an IT services company. We focus on software and solution development for clients in all industries, of pretty much all sizes too, with a focus on artificial intelligence, which in our line of work, what that means is things like conversational interfaces, natural language processing, like we want to talk to an app or talk to a solution, have it talk back to you, computer vision recognition, as well as IoT devices. So getting information from all over the place and pulling it together. So that's really that's our forte, and we help people because we do it really, really well. Philadelphia based, been around 6 or 7 years. That's what I do.
Nice. That's some brainiac stuff, dude.
Oh, I'm not the brainiac. Listen, I promise you, any room I'm in, I'm not the smartest person in. Where 2 or more are gathered in my name, I'm not the smartest person in that room. But I do work with some pretty. My partners are really, really smart. They're 2 of the best data scientists on the East Coast. So they do the heavy lifting. So if you have easy questions, I'll answer them. But if you have some hard questions, I just say, hey, guys.
Yep. So
awesome. Thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks a lot, Will. Thanks a lot. So I'm asking Allison to unmic because I've got an idea, Allison, because Darren can talk on his phone right there and through your microphone, and we will.
That's what I was thinking.
Boom. See?
Darren, we're just going to talk right here on our phone, you and me.
See?
Are we going to cut into that?
He is on. Can you talk? Introduce yourself to everyone.
You want to do this over the phone?
Yep. They can all hear you.
Hey, man, this is like every story I've ever lived in my life.
We're just anti-Canadian.
Failure, I'm in.
Yeah, it's a
Canadian. This for a reason.
Well, Allison, let's do this. I want to be very, very conscious of everybody's time and their days that they have ahead of them. So why don't you just fire away and you ask me anything that you want, and just know to anybody who's on this call that I give my sincere apologies. I think that when, for some reason, the site or the platform where we're on, when it skips to Canada, it just doesn't like those borders. You got to love the internet.
Yeah. No doubt. So, Allison, what I think we'll do is we'll finish doing the introductions. He can listen to them there with you. And then, man, when it's time, we're rolling. Awesome. All right.
Just a suggestion. If you want to turn your mic down just a couple clicks because it's a little hot.
Yeah, we can hear him good, though.
It's a little, you know what I mean? If you turn it down,
better?
He'd have to say something, but it's him, not you.
Okay.
It's actually, it's your phone, not him. So,
all right. Well, we're good. So, Allison, we got Brad Smith up here. Take it away, Allison.
Brad Smith, tell us about you, sir.
Brad Smith was invented to help business owners grow their companies significantly faster. If I can't figure out how to shorten the distance between where you are and where you want to be by 50%, I'm not doing my job, and maybe extend it beyond. I had a conversation with a client this last week and opened him up to the possibility of adding 2 more zeros beyond what the 1 0 he wants. So I had to hold his feet down, right? So that's what I do. I help people get there sooner, ignite it. And am I an extrovert? I'm finding that there's a shy part to my extrovert. I always thought I was just extrovert and I had to have people. COVID has been hell, but there we are.
I love it. Well, and just so everybody knows, I've nicknamed him the Elevator.
I like it. Get on board.
Yeah. Thank you, Brad. Hey, Mark. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Allison. Good to see you. So I'm Mark Strementi. I'm in Chicago. I'm a fractional COO. I'm right-hand man for hire, somebody who can grab your vision and run with it and execute it. So I do strategy and execution. My background is in e-commerce, product development, digital marketing, customer service, scaling business processes and teams for growth and sustainable profitability. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I've got one client. I'm looking for my next clients. I just started this practice in November. So as far as extrovert, introvert is concerned, I'm an extrovert. I like being around people. That said, sometimes I just can't wait to get away from them and, spend some time alone reading or writing. So, but I always test extrovert on those Myers-Briggs and that kind of thing. And I do like people.
Awesome.
So happy to be here. And my daughter just tested positive for COVID. So I don't know what that means for the rest of our family the next couple of weeks. We'll be working on that.
Yeah. Hang in there because, like Darren always says, we'll get through this.
We will. Thank you, Darren, for that inspiration.
And hopefully it'll be like my family. We had it, but it wasn't like crazy. So it might be a mild case. Which would be
Let's hope so. Thank you.
Fingers
crossed. Yourself. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Hey, Dan, you're up.
Hi,
dude.
Allison, how are you?
Good.
My name is Dan Bigger. I'm the director of sales and marketing for a custom contract manufacturer in New York. We are an injection molding and tooling company. I am very big in manufacturing space, so I'm one of the co-organizers of USA Manufacturing Hour on Twitter. And based on Will's definition, I'm an introvert. I like quiet because I rarely get any with running around with my kids and all the stuff I have to do for work. So, but I love people and I love talking to people. So sort of both.
That's great.
Excellent. Well, we're glad you're here today.
Glad to be here.
Michael.
Good morning. Michael Gidlewski. My company's Achievement Unlimited. I work with small to mid-sized companies to grow their people, to grow their business, get the right people in the right seat on the bus going in the right direction. And I am absolutely an introvert when it comes to spending off time, quality time. I mean, I can go for a 10-day silent retreat with Thich Nhat Hanh in New York 2nd. Yet I love to be in front of people. I love to be in front of groups speaking. It charges me up, but after I'm done, I'm like drained. I have no energy left. So Zoom has been a lifesaver for me. It's been just awesome to be able to do workshops on Zoom and work with clients on Zoom without missing a beat.
Love it. I can totally relate. Thank you for sharing that. We're glad you're here, Michael.
Thank you, Allison.
Professor Pete.
Hey, Allison, and hey guys, how are you? So what a way to start the morning with all the technology. I feel for you guys because I've had that too many times myself.
Saved us, Professor Pete, because of all your stress relief tips. We didn't freak out.
That's right. And you know what? And your audience didn't freak out either.
That's right. And
That's right.
And you found out.
It's hard to say audience. I've seen it
in there for Ron and Damon and everyone else from Seattle. Go Raiders.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, I don't want to take more time because I know we're behind. So just who I am, I'm Professor Pete, and I empower working professionals to go from being mentally and emotionally overwhelmed to better protecting their health and handling challenging situations with grace and success, like technology issues.
Awesome. Well, and we need you. So like Ira said, this is an unshakable audience. Thank God.
You bet.
They're rolling with the punches.
Positive audience. So looking forward to the rest of the presentation.
Well, it won't disappoint. I can tell you that.
Great.
Raymond.
Yo.
Introduce yourself.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Yeah. Have you met Ray before?
I'm here.
Once or twice.
Okay. Yeah. 4 times. I am Ray Zaganto and the proud co-host of MFG Out Loud with my our founder and champion for growing manufacturers everywhere, Miss Allison DeFord. So really thrilled to be here. When the question, introvert, I'm the guy that sits in the corner of the room and watches everybody to see what's going on, and then when I get started.
You can't turn them off.
I tend to not stop, but yeah, I get on a roll. So what I do, I'm the manufacturing unicorn, and what I do is help manufacturers connect that front end of their business all the way through to the operation side, because most of them fail to do that. It's more because they're they're just not built to do it. And the companies that succeed consistently are the ones that figure that out. And if they can't figure that out, they call me and I figure it out. So that's what I do. Help all kinds of customers, small to medium size. Currently working with some aerospace clients, about $500 million. So love it all, domestic, international. I love playing factory and watching them grow. Thrilled to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here. He's, for anybody on the call who doesn't know, we are co-hosts of MFG Out Loud, the weekly courageous conversations about sales and marketing to help manufacturers grow and make sales easier and more profitable. So I couldn't ask for anybody better to be my other podcasting half than the unicorn.
If you haven't seen that show, you really have to watch it. It's incredibly informative, but it's also entertaining. So
we try. Hey, so next we've got Dennis. Introduce yourself, please.
Well, thank you, Allison. So I got the opportunity to see somebody in training yesterday running down the street. So I know that he's working on his project. So yeah, he's laughing about it too. Yeah. Anyway, I'm Dennis Bolger. We are insurance agents, and we help people understand what they don't have and what they do have, and then make sure that they're protected properly so that we can sleep at night, because it's all about us, right? So then you wanted to know if I'm an introverted or an extrovert, right? So my response to that is, I'm not who I think I am. I am what I think you think I am. So I'm a bit of both. I'm kind of like I'm kind of like I sit in the corner, and when I need to come out, I come out, and then I'm very extroverted when I get out of my corner. But I'm very happy to sit there and be quiet too. Anyway, let's go.
Was he running down the street or shuffling, Dennis?
No, he was running. He was running. Well, when he was going up the street, he was running. When he was coming back, he was kind of shuffling. There you go.
Yeah. A little bit of an inside joke, but Damon is training for his marathon, and Dennis lives nearby, so he's seeing his progress. So great stuff.
Fun.
Anybody who decides to run on purpose deserves a medal, because I've been trying a bit of it myself, and it's
it's Back to the Future. Run for fun.
Yeah, exactly. There is no fun in it. I will just tell you that right now. There is no fun in it. There is no fun in it at all.
Troy, introduce yourself, man.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Troy Niehaus. I am a colleague of Aaron Marburg, who was the first to speak. Work at Bernstein, global firm, and focus my practice working with entrepreneurs and business owners, which is why I'm a big part of this group. And early stages all the way through growth, maturity, and exit from a business. And at the end of the day, we make money meaningful for our clients. And so work a lot with Damon and Andrew, for example, as they're working with business owners, helping them to sell their business. We do a lot of upfront planning for the business owners to make sure that that liquidity event is going to be meaningful enough for them, and then help them to, identify what buckets to put their wealth in, and essentially how to amplify that exit opportunity. So that's what I do here, hanging my hat here in the Seattle office.
Andrew, Troy, you're in a different spot, right? Because you usually have the eyeballs behind you.
Yes, I'm in a different spot. Good eyes there, Ira.
I like that painting in the background. That's kind of cool. It's kind of
a comment on LinkedIn about the artwork, but the eyes, I like what you did there, because that means it's a pun. So anyways,
exactly. See, by the way, we interviewed Damon. Aaron and I interviewed. We have a little webcast that we do a couple times a month, and we interviewed Damon and asked about his practice. And so if you haven't seen it, go check it out on LinkedIn. There should be a post, and you can read that. But it was a quite entertaining and fun time, Damon.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed it.
All right, Troy. Thanks a lot. Hey, if you got a link to that, put it in the chat. That'd be great.
Yeah, I sure will. Good idea.
All right, thank you.
All right.
I think that's it.
All right, Allison.
Are
I
we
didn't miss
ready?
anybody.
We're ready. We're ready for you guys. We're ready.
All right, Darren. They're ready for us. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, everybody, thank you for being here. And I want to introduce you to our very special guest. His name is Darrin Mitchell. He is here by way of high-tech smartphone. We had some technical difficulties earlier, so I apologize for that. Thank you for hanging around. This will not disappoint. Darrin is formerly the owner of Trout River Industries, which he recently sold, and as well as owner of an amusement park, which I did not know before, and sold that on the same day. His attorney was really happy. So Darrin has had great success getting people to trust him that want to pay him big money. And I believe he is the perfect person to share some of that knowledge with everyone today on the call, because most of us are entrepreneurs of some sort. And we're all like, Darrin is, he laughs when I say this, but he's living the dream, right? He's who we want to be when we grow up. He created this successful business and then was approached by somebody that said, I want to give you millions of dollars for this business. And he said, okay. And he is just a master at getting out of his own way, getting past his own fear, or he's definitely an introvert, which I did not know before from watching his videos. I was very surprised. And so that's another thing we're going to talk about today, because I know a lot of you are introverts. That's why I asked the question. How do you get past that, right? How do you get out of your own way to really make that your unfair advantage? So, Darrin, I will stop talking. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Could you tell us a little bit about your journey? In a nutshell, what was that like for you to build that business and then sell it?
Thanks, Allison. Very much appreciated. And I have to say, I've never looked so good.
Right?
Secondly, for everybody that's on the call today, thank you for your patience. I want to be very careful that I'm conscious of everybody's time, which is a great equalizer of all of us. So at any point in time, Allison, if you're commanding the ship, if people have questions or comments, I am a very open book. So make sure to fire them through, and I will share with you anything that you think is valuable, or maybe I skipped over something too quick, or anything. I will share every step of the way of this very interesting journey.
Perfect.
So for those of you who don't know, for the last 20 plus years, I built a manufacturing business in the absolute worst spot you could ever build a manufacturing business in the world. We are not where the supply chains were. We're not where the customers were. We're not where the transportation routes were to get the products to the customers. And we actually built it in a spot where people almost looked down on us. So if keep in mind, you're talking to a very proud Canadian right now, but you're also talking to a Canadian who other Canadians make fun of. So we are so rural and so out there. I'm actually talking to you from an island in the Atlantic Ocean that has a 8-mile bridge to get back to what we call the mainland. So in sum, we decided to start a manufacturing business and not only do it in a place we weren't meant to do it, but we did it competing against companies that were, a bulk of them were out of Ohio, and they had access to hundreds of millions of dollars, and they were vertically and horizontally integrated So they own their supply chain, they own their delivery systems, and they had something we probably would never have. They had that history and rapport with the customers that literally every single check mark that you would think of when you wrote a Business 101 plan, we didn't have a single one. So starting day one, we had to completely reinvent the business and do everything differently. I remember, so we built very large trailers that are used in mainly road construction. I remember the first road builders convention that I went to, I overheard a conversation in the social gathering that my little company was, quote, a flash in the pan, and they would never make it throughout the year. And that quote was given by my very first dealer that I had in the region. and I went, oh, this traditional way of doing business isn't going to work when somebody on my own team is saying we're going to fail. So again, in sum, very quickly, we knew that competing in the existing channels with the existing ways of doing business in a very old school industry where they're very happy making 5 to 8% margins, we knew we couldn't do any of that head on competing against those businesses. So very early, we had to change the business plan. We had to focus very hard on the cream. So we built our products. So really good example, dump trailers. If you were to see Mack Trailer out of Ohio, they make, I think they're over 10,000 units right now a year. And they're very happy making 5% margin because it's on a very large scale. So what we did is we said, we'll never make a dump trailer. What we'll do is we'll add some technology to it, which scared some of the bigger players. And then we came up with a very creative marketing strategy that got to the decision makers to usurp a very old sales channel process that we never, ever could have conquered. And the way we did that is that YouTube came out at the time. We started producing YouTube videos that snuck into people's brains that we built trust before we ever got to them. And that was a very effective strategy. We had, I think just before Christmas, we had over 6 million views. And the people who we were broadcasting to knew, liked, and trust us before we ever had that first conversation. So one of the things that I can share with the group is because we were doing those non-traditional forms of sales and marketing, we snuck into the back of their heads in the ways that the older traditional businesses basically looked at us and laughed. But I can share with you that when I would go to a big trailer conference and we would be in Kentucky, I would have my competitors walk up to me and say, I hate you, you're an asshole. I would say, well, hello, how are you? I'm Darren, pleased to meet you. And they would say, my staff watches your videos every week and they show up at a weekly meeting and then they tell me what you're doing. And I would say, well, that's fantastic. I didn't do that to frustrate you. What can we do to partner and work together? And thinking creatively like that was one of the key factors that grew the business. And we grew to the 50 million mark. And we had partners in Australia, New Zealand, Europe, Western Canada, and the Middle East. And we used the exact same strategy of what we call broadcasting breadcrumbs, little snippets of who we were in an honest and sincere way. We continually broadcast those on a very consistent basis. And I hated every single second of it because I'm definitely, when it comes to the social side, I'm definitely an introvert, but I really, really like the results. So for anybody who's on this call right now, a good story is that I was contacted one day by a group of people, I guess you would call them, from the Middle East. And they said, we want to come and see you. Here's our passports. So I immediately went to the government and said, people are trying to sneak into the country and they want my help. And the government said, no, Darren, they actually need you to write a letter so they can travel to Canada so they can meet with you. And I went, so it's a scam? And they went, no, it's not a scam. This is how it actually works. Of course, I felt like shit for doing that. So anyway, my group of people shows up and they said, we like you. We know exactly what you're doing. Can we just talk to you about our project? And I went, you know me, you like you've been watching the videos. So a little light bulb started going on in my head that when people showed up and wanted to see me and meet with me, we had already gotten past that arms folded, who the hell are you? Why should I believe you? Why should I trust you? We were past that moment, and I actually got to start to act like a doctor. And if you think about it, when you go and see the doctor says, hi, where does it hurt? And then they start asking you a bunch of questions, and you tell the doctor where it hurts because you already trust the doctor when you get in the room. And I would encourage anybody on this phone call to start broadcasting breadcrumbs about who they are and what they're passionate about, because you start to build an audience of people who consume enough of these little snippets that they build a story of who you are on their terms. And that's exactly what the group from the Middle East came to do when they came to talk to me. They already knew me, like me, trust me. They already knew I was the doctor, according to them. So somebody on this phone call earlier said when they introduced themselves, it's not who I tell you I am, it's who you think I am. So that's exactly right. And this group, when we sat down and we did this whole understanding their project, what they were trying to achieve, is we were already past the trust phase. And when they wrote me a check for $10 million, they said, thank you, because you helped us. In my head, I'm going, and my business partner, I'm like, shut up. And he was giggling. And he was like, they think you're an expert. And I'm like, well, I said, get over yourself. We kind of are, because we do deliver what we promise.
Yep.
So that's the other side of this, is as long as you deliver what you've promised, then you get to keep doing it. And if you're full of shit, don't use any tools that I'm telling you about today, because I find, and I'm getting so since I sold my business, I'm getting phone calls from lots of other manufacturers saying, help us. And what I'm finding is there's a lot of really good, sincere, value-added entrepreneurs out there who are struggling, because when I challenge them on it, when I push them on it, they say a very interesting comment back to me. Darren, I didn't think we were allowed to tell people this. You're not allowed to tell people what you're good at and passionate about and what you care about and what gets you out of bed in the morning. Yeah, well, it's easy to be you. And I'm like, fuck, it's not easy to be me. It's hard to be me. But every day I have to consistently work at it, because I care more about the results than my own insecurities.
Yep.
And I have seen so many small to medium entrepreneurs, and I love small to medium entrepreneurs because they're so honest and sincere and compassionate people, that they struggle with this so much they're forced to abdicate this role to someone else in their organization. And then when they abdicate that part of the business, they actually give up control. And what I start to do is remind them, think about the early days when you were starting and growing the business. You did all of these things because you cared about your customers, because you wanted to be high quality, on time delivery. You did a lot of things to make it work because you cared. And you're allowed to share that with people around you, and you're going to share it with an audience of 7.8 billion people. That is now the world that we live in, 7.8 billion people. So you can now use these tools to go beyond this local market that it's like a pond. You've been swimming around in the same pond for the last 20 years while you're wondering why you're not getting different results. This is a way to get out of the pond and attract the people who want to give you more money. And what it also does is a really nice way of people getting to know you who it may not be the right time to do business with you. So really good example, I had customers who say, you only show up when you want money. Like, yeah, that's, if you think about the trust factor, if any of you on this call today were to call up one of your biggest customers, they would inevitably have something tickling in the back of their brain going, all right, you want something. I know. But what if you could live in your customers' heads on a weekly basis? And they got to consume who you were on their time, not your time. And that is a huge advantage to building trust with the marketplace, is that when they get to see you on their time, they're in the right mindset. Just because you're geared up for that big meeting and you knock on their door and say, here I am, or you have that Zoom phone call, you don't know that their child is sick. You don't know that their dog passed away last week who's been in the family for 20 years, but you're prepared. And the challenge is in having that meeting is you think you walked in the door and you nailed it, but you don't know how they're feeling at the moment. And it's one of the biggest challenges that we have to overcome is how do I get to know, like, build trust with my potential customers on their terms, not my terms. And sometimes it's almost selfish of us to think, well, I did this, and then I put on that, and then I sent them a flyer, and they should be, I proved why we're better. But that's how you feel. It's not how they feel. So anything you can do to show the world who you are in lots of different settings. So if you really want to get creative and take this to the next level, stop doing the Zoom meetings. Start showing yourself. I'm going to call bullshit on everyone on this call right now. I'm tired of looking up your noses. And by the way, I can see you. You just can't see me. Let's take a look at who you are in different settings. And if I can see you in different settings, it short circuits something in my brain where it says, Allison, Damon, Ira, Andrew, I've seen these people in different settings, but their messaging is so consistent. They look like someone I can trust. And this is what you can do to get to more people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Start producing these short videos of who you are and what you're passionate about, and show me these videos in different settings. And you're going to start to sneak to the back part of my brain where my brain starts going, hey, I think I know, like, and trust this person. And if you think about it, we even did it today, and I wish my technology, I think it's me, I wish my technology was better. But think about even today's presentation. We have the presentation that I'm doing for you right now, but we also had the meet and greet breakout room. The meet and greet breakout room, just like when we go to these big conferences, and you're going to start to do it again and show people who you are, some of the best meetings that you're going to have are not in the conference, it's in the breakout room. And the reason for that is you dropped your guard, and the person across from you dropped their guard. What if, great, everybody's waiting, what if you could have lots of conversations with people when their guard was dropped? And that's something that I want everybody to consider, is that when you start doing this, you do it in a way, once again, it's on their terms, and they get to formulate that story of who you are and do they want to work with you. And by the way, it's free.
So
it's free. All I'm asking is be who you are, and you'll attract those people who see the value.
what do you say to people who think these videos have to be super high production value? What do you say to them? Because that's not what you're suggesting, right?
Well, two things on that, Allison. Thank you for asking. Is that one, when you start to think high production value, you start to think about that really nice brochure from the 1980s. And it's flashy and it has lots of stuff and bells and whistles. and features and benefits and all these things. You just screwed up the thought process because you went back to your fallback zone and said, well, if I did this in the 80s, now I'm just using the internet, so I take the exact same concept and I force it through the internet, and that's going to win business, right? No, it's not how we think today. You can get into someone's head through their phone. And if you try and force that flyer from the 1980s through the phone and you think that's going to win the day, it's not. So a really good example, the little videos that I produce consciously every week is I'll get anywhere from 1,200 to 8,000 views. Recently, as part of, I was hired by a national manufacturing group to do something big and flashy. I spent $4,000. I did the big flashy video, and I had people call me after, and they would say, Darren, that's amazing. You've really taken your business to the next level. You look professional. And I went, wow, thank you. I really appreciate that. Do you remember what the video was about? No. And I went, great. I want to call bullshit on this for a second. That video that I produced got 350 views. So why is it that people don't soak up the big flashy thing, which cost me $4,000 to produce, versus a 1 minute video of me walking through a snowbank, telling them something I'm very passionate about?
Yep.
Yeah.
Why is it that video got 8,000 views, but I got 350 views on the one that was extremely polished? And again, if you think of it this way, we're bombarded with so much of that imagery every day. People think that this new form of communication, which is digital connection, they think they can still force things through the old way. And that is just an amplifier of the old way of doing things. And it doesn't work. And then they get frustrated and they quit and they say, well, see, it's not for me. And that's the worst thing you can do, because your customers like consistency. They like honesty. They like sincerity. Because guess what? If it's not you, I have literally 5,000 other people to choose from within a minute. And that's, we tend to go, well, we've been doing business with our customers for the last 30 years. Great. But you're not doing business with them the way they want to be done business with today. Because what we're used today is instant. I want you now. I like you now. And if you tell people, well, we'll get back to you in 3 weeks, well, guess what? I'm going to find somebody else. And I think it's one of the biggest challenges that most businesses that I work with today are finding is that they're saying we're losing traction and we don't know why. Well, guess what? Somebody else is solving that need instantly. You're not. Yeah, but well, how do we do it? You got to be more instantly in front of your customer base on a very continual basis. Yeah, but we're not that. Okay. Somebody else is going to. But don't hope for the way things were in 1985.
Or 2020.
Yep. The world has changed. Your thought process has changed. Your customers have changed. The way we do business has changed. Most people just don't get that yet. And all they're doing is actively losing.
Yes. And one of our guests, Brad Smith, said, human and authentic is the truth. And that's what matters.
You know what? Anybody on this call right now, if you, I don't know, maybe somebody's likes mountain biking. I don't. But maybe somebody likes mountain biking. What do? You go on the internet and you do your research, and that's where you build the truth that you want to use to move forward. And guess what? If you don't want to show up to the game, and if you don't want to be there to occupy the minds of your customers, stop complaining about shitty results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to check in with...
I apologize for the language, Allison, but I'm very passionate about it. I see a lot of people who are very good people who have value-added services, and they're suffering today because they have not made that linkage yet.
Right. No, I'm the queen of the F-bomb, so it's cool.
And someone else is going to eat your breakfast if you don't. But guess what? The same tools are now available to you that you can now go out and eat someone else's breakfast.
Yeah.
We're on a very level playing field today.
That is true.
Yeah. Well, I want to check in with Damon on the time.
Yeah, I think we're running over. Obviously, the technical details cost us some time in the beginning, but man, you have Allison, Darren, you guys have dropped so much great knowledge here, and we're recording this too, so that we're going to share this on YouTube again, so people will be able to see it there. But Darren, if you I think your story is so incredible, and you and I have talked prior to this too, so I kind of understand it a bit. People should go look at the videos that you're producing now, the videos you produced before, because they are so incredible and really shows what you're talking about. And I think that if there's anything I've learned from listening today is that you got to ditch the production, the side of these videos, because I still get the same thing, and I'm sure you do too, Allison, talking to manufacturers. They think that we've got to do videos. Well, it's going to be, $5,000-$10,000 kind of video, but the videos that people are engaging are like Bonnie Strominger with Go Lids on TikTok, and minute long videos, or like Darren was talking about, and that does equalize a playing field for all of us. So great stuff. So any parting thoughts, guys, before we wrap it up here?
Darren, any parting thoughts you want to share?
No, I talked long enough. Very, very passionate about it, and I think for anybody on the call today, like I said, I'm more in love with the results than the actions. So if you yourself can think about the results that it's going to produce for you in your business, it's no different than any sports or any activities you're interested in. If you're passionate about it, you're willing to start by being bad, and then eventually you'll get a little better. But don't stick your toe in the water and say it's cold, I didn't like it, here's 1,000 excuses why I shouldn't keep going. I'm telling you, you need to get in the water. You absolutely have to, otherwise someone's going to remove it from you, and you're going to be left with a pile of excuses.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, that is gold right there. That is incredible, Darren, and thank you so much for that, and thank you so much for being here. And Allison and Wonder Woman.
Yes,
Wonder Woman is trying to.
She's trying to
help.
Well, that's why we invited this guy, because, like I said, I think we all want to be him when we grow up. At least I do. Yeah. And I wanted to bring you great value today, and so I can't thank him enough, Darren. I can't thank you enough for showing up, for speaking your truth. And it was funny, you guys. He said, "Do you think you and I have enough that we could fill 45 minutes to talk to people?" I'm pretty sure. We didn't scratch the surface. I had so many questions. I didn't even get to them.
Yes. Well, we will have Darren back again, and we'll get the technical difficulties ironed out ahead of time, because I really think that, an additional session here later this year would be awesome to do this, because I can't emphasize enough what he's talking about, and how that does help you to stand out, be like he said, with your customers on their terms when they need you. Yep. And good stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, and remember, when you make the customer the hero of your story, you will stay in that mindset, and it works.
Yes. So, Allison, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business, and then Andrew's going to close this up.
Okay. Well, manufacturers have spent years wasting time and money on marketing that doesn't grow sales. And my mission is to strengthen the heart and soul of manufacturing by helping 8 to 10 manufacturers a year retrofit their marketing system to make sales easier and more profitable. Because the most successful and beloved brands, they're not just seen and heard, they're felt. So we want to help you connect on an emotional level, which is how people make decisions 90% of the time anyway. And make sales easier. So that's what we do at Pelt.
Awesome. So that's great, Allison. Thank you so much for being our guest host and bringing an awesome topic and an awesome speaker. Darren, thanks so much there. Andrew, take it away.
Well, everybody, Allison, we've never had technical difficulties before. So. I don't know.
Just today. Just
today. I couldn't get Darren on the screen, which I think he was actually happy with. So, and these guys are great. Allison, I think, manufacturing is a big challenge. They're great at manufacturing, but marketing has always been kind of voodoo for them. And because I was in manufacturing for a long time, and I guess you're making extroverts out of manufacturing introverts. So
I'm trying.
At the end of the day. So this was great stuff. I think we just scratched the surface. And again, as someone who has to, makes a living helping people sell their businesses and growing value, and to see what Darren did is really unusual and really unbelievable. And that's why I think anybody, you can. I mean, we spend a lot of time trying to convince people that, their business has value. They can see it because they don't actually believe that they can take it and sell it for something like that. And Darren just intuitively, that did it with, and it's you can learn so much from that.
Yes.
Great stuff. I think it's great. Anyways, we're late, but that's cool because it was worth it to get you guys on and worth the wait. And we're going to head back to the tables. We'll hang out for a little bit more. If anybody else wants to, chat a little bit on the sessions there on the table, we'll do that, and we'll see y'all next week.
All right. Well, we're dropping off LinkedIn Live here. Thank you, Allison, Darren, Andrew, everyone that joined. And we will be down to the tables on Remo. If you're listening live on LinkedIn and you didn't want to join the tables, just hit the link in LinkedIn and you can be there. Boom, boom.